I'm learning more magic than ever before. It just comes natural. I'm a proper chair knight now. People are always growing and changing no matter how old they get. Everyone from my example. Ha ha ha! I can't do a laugh. Hey everybody, welcome back to more Triangle Strategy. I'm SlayerMathis, and last time we beat up Travis and recruited him after beating him up, and this time we're going to see what the secret of the Rosellan village is. Ooh.
So this book is gonna help us find the treasure.
That's right. We found it stuffed into the deepest, darkest recesses of the S. Frosty archives. My thieving senses tell me it'll lead us to incredible treasure.
Frost's most confidential information is stored in the archives. There is definitely something of import in there.
Never thought I'd say this, but good steal.
It wasn't easy, but I had to, for Trish. Sadly, it's locked up tight, and trust me, you won't be forcing that thing open.
I see. It's sealed with powerful magic.
Would we need another spell to counter the seal?
There's probably a key that can open it.
I suspected as much. It's probably somewhere in this village.
What makes you say that?
Take a good look at the cover, and you'll see a map of Norzelia.
Indeed, there is. If this is the Norzelia River, then this must be the Wolfort Domain.
In which case, those jewels are right on...
This village.
Exactly. We came here because we thought we'd find a way to open it.
Are you sure it's not just coincidence?
It could be, but if it isn't...
Then the key is in this village. And the treasure in this book must be related to the Roselle.
Then let's search the village. Could I ask you to use your thieving senses to help us look, Travis?
Of course you can. It's what bandits like me do best.
To think we would find such a thing while searching for a key.
I had a taste, and it's salt for sure. So what kind of rock is this?
I do not know. It looks to be a crystal of salt. Or salt crystal, shall we call it?
Even if you condense the salt from the source, it would not take this shape. It must have come from a different place entirely.
Hold it. You mean to say there's salt outside of the source? If that were true, it'd change Norzelia as we know it.
I wonder if the Roselle knew.
I see. That may be why Hyzant imprisoned them at the source. They did it to keep their monopoly on salt.
But what was a book showing its whereabouts doing in S-Frost?
There is someone connecting all three. Esfrost, Hyzant, and the Roselle. My mother, Orlaea.
The leader of the Rosellan uprising. She escaped the source and founded this village.
After that, she met the previous Archduke and gave birth to me. Could the key to opening this book be my mother's pendant?
It opened!
So this was my mother's book.
Pray, read it for us, Frederica.
This is a legend handed down by the Roselles since times of old. It is the secret history of Norzelia. I, Orlaea Roselle, am recording the legend here as the last keeper of these histories.
In ancient times, the Roselle lived in Centralia, a land to the distant south of Norzelia. It sat on the shore of the sea, a source that extended to the horizon and beyond. It was said to be a paradise, a place where people never wanted for salt. The Roselle knew more about salt than anyone, for it was a part of their everyday lives. In those days, Norzelia still rested at the bottom of the sea, but a cataclysm brought it to the surface, turning it into land. The sea dried up, and the small portion that remained is what we know today as the source. Eventually, many people migrated to the new land of Norzelia. They waged war over the source, wishing to get their hands on its precious salt. Our ancestors came to Norzelia in hopes of putting an end to the fighting. They knew that the salt still remained, even without the sea. It merely crystallized and sank deep into the earth. After all their searching, they unearthed a giant crystal. No, a very pillar of salt. They showed it to the people of Norzelia, told them that salt could be found beneath their very feet. However, those who had seized control over the source sought to reign over all of Norzelia by controlling the salt. They, the holy state of Hyzant, attacked and slaughtered the Roselle. They hid the pillar, erased the existence of salt crystals, and imprisoned the surviving Roselle at the source. Thus we were branded sinners, criminals who wanted sole dominion over the land's salt. To justify their own monopoly, Hyzant created the goddess's teachings, but she needed a villain. To this very day, the Roselle are scorned, made to shed blood and tears, all in her name. But the goddess herself is proof of the Rosellan legends. I saw it with my own eyes during the uprising. Inside of her statue is the pillar of salt that was taken from our ancestors. But I could not expose the truth of the goddess. It took everything I had just to get a fragment. But that piece is the key to freeing the Roselle. It must be. For my brethren who continue to suffer for a crime they did not commit.
The Holy State's teachings are false. The goddess's blessing spread across all Norzelia. The blessing of the true goddess. The blessing that shall be the key to the chains that bind our people.
Jerome spoke these words before. Lady Orlaea's words.
Yes, the blessing my mother spoke of was the salt crystal.
And the false teachings referred to salt existing outside the source. It would be the key to ending Hyzant's monopoly on salt. This has the power to change Norzelia as we know it, but it is not something we can recklessly proclaim.
But I cannot forgive Hyzant. They rewrote history with their false doctrines and continue to oppress the Roselle, all to maintain their power over salt. Serenoa, Do you think we could free the Roselle with this information?
We would need conclusive evidence. Right now, all we have is a salt crystal. We would not be able to prove that more salt lies beneath the earth, or even the truth of the goddess's statue.
I don't care how much time it takes. Can we not find out the truth?
House Wolford is currently under the banner of Hyzant. We may be branded as rebels if the Holy State deems our actions as defiance of the goddess.
I know it is a reckless request, but my mother has given us a chance with this book. I cannot simply let it pass me by.
I understand how you feel, and the responsibility of House Wolford to the Roselle. Please give me some time to think, Frederica.
Of course. I believe in House Wolford. And in you, Serenoa.
I should like to speak to Benedict and Roland about the book as well. Let us return to the capital.
Roland, Benedict, and Frederica regroup back in the capital. But what they experienced while they were away could very well alter the course of destiny itself.
What is so important? Is there something on your mind, Roland?
Serenoa, I do not know what I should do.
Did something happen in the capital?
No, that problem has been dealt with. I've made sure those damned royalists will never cause trouble again.
Was such harsh punishment truly necessary?
Of course it was. When they should have been helping to rebuild the kingdom, they instead profited off the people's hardship. And on top of that, they sought to string me up as their puppet king.
I understand, but...
You know what they told me? They said that is what Glenbrook truly is. That it must be ruled with the royalists' careful mediation between the royal family and their loyal subjects. They said good kings need not think for themselves. They said my father and my brother understood that.
Even if that is true, you have the power to change it.
I tried. That is the entire reason I took the throne. But nothing has changed. No matter how many corrupt aristocrats I've cast out. This kingdom has always been broken. As Frost's invasion just ensured we could never put the pieces back together. I do not have the strength to reconcile a land and people torn apart by hatred and greed. I cannot give Glenbrook what it needs, king though I may be.
Roland.
Apologies, my friend. I should not burden you with my woes.
You burden me with nothing. But if you are struggling...
All is well. Trust me. So long as you are by my side.